Alright everybody, I'm just going to do a quick little gear review before my backpacking trip this weekend. We're heading out on Friday. We're coming back on Sunday, me and my brother. Right now the weather is really iffy. It's really cold. It's looking like it's going to be like 20 as the low on Sunday. I'm not completely geared up for it, but I'll just hope for the best and bring extra of everything. We have no plan. It depends what the weather turns out to be, but if the weather's like it's supposed to be, a little bit of rain, cold, maybe even snow, then we're just gonna go up to the NCT, like maybe M20, just go like a mile in, camp there. So it's only a mile in, so if anything should happen, if it is too cold for us to handle, we got an easy back to the car, sleep in the car if we need to, or just come on home. So I'm just going to go through everything real quick. I know these videos sometimes are long, so I'm just going to do this one as fast as possible. Just go over everything. So the first thing is where I'm going to be sleeping. I have the hammock. It's the mosquito cocoon hammock. It's got the bug net built right into it. Fortunately, it's the only hammock I have besides a cheap Walmart one, but I'm not going to sleep in that thing because it is really noisy and everything. But and the bug net has to be up because it's got some sort of plastic bars on it. So I'm going to have a bug net around me even though I don't need it because it's so cold. But the plus for going when it's cold is you don't need the bug net, but unfortunately it comes with this, so I'm going to have to deal with that. And I hang that up with the Eno Alice straps. So I know these are pretty heavy for what they are, but they're really easy for me to use. I'm not a big knot guy, so just going to use these. They're good for the trees. They're easy. And like I said, if we don't go very far, it's not going to be a big deal carrying this little extra weight. So, the next thing for over it, I use the Eno tarp. It's just a little tarp. It's perfect for what we're doing. I use it even if I go car camping because it's great to just throw up, put it up over my bikes and stuff. So me and my wife's bikes, and worked out great for that. So this is pretty easy to set up. It does require only 4 stakes because it's got it's got the built-in tension cords, I guess. Everything's built right into it, but for the stakes I've got these I bought new this year. These they're aluminum. It's just the Koblenz, I think that's how you say it. Just the cheap brand, but for $5, and they're long and they got the little strings. Orange, so I won't lose them. But what I used last time, I've only been in the hammock actually once, were these little cheap plastic ones that I got. They did not stick in the ground at all. We went through it was quite a storm that Mike and I went through, my brother. But these didn't cut the mustard. So I am going to take them because I'm also taking along those lines. I'm taking this tarp. It looks heavier than it is. It's actually, it weighs nothing, and I'm not going to use it obviously over my hammock or anything, but in these conditions it's nice to have an extra tarp we'll throw over us to sit around if we need to sit around in the rain. Last time, like I said, it did rain on us. We lost our fire and everything else because it stormed so hard, but Mike and I sat underneath my tarp for the hammock, so that worked out. But it'd be nice to throw this up so we don't have to, because what happened was I don't have the snake skins for the tarp or for my hammock, so us hitting it when we were wet made the hammock a little wet, and so it was slightly damp, and it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't super wet or anything, but it was a little bit wet. So in the hammock, anybody that camps in a hammock knows that you need an underquilt. Unfortunately, you don't need an underquilt, but unfortunately I don't have an underquilt. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use pads to try to keep me warm. Like here's a couple of the pads here. Anyway, I'll show you as I'm going. This is just one of those closed cell, I guess I think that's what you call it, closed cell foam. Just a cheap little $20 deal. But this lays in the hammock. I'm going to lay this one in first, just in the hammock. And then actually inside my sleeping bag, I have this cuboid thing. It's I got it for Christmas. It's a Meyer deal. But what it is it's got cubes and it's self-inflating. It's just like the Thermarest ones, but this one's got little squares. I don't know if it's hard to see, but like each one is a little square like this, and it's the self-inflating, so there's some foam inside there, but it also is self-inflating, just like the classic type of deals there for blowing them up or letting them self-inflate. But if you wanted to go a little higher, you can blow them up. In a hammock, I probably won't need to blow it up. I'll probably leave it quite loose, because really it's not for comfort, it's for keeping warm from the bottom, because what happens is the wind and the cold creeps up from the bottom of the hammock. Much like when you're in a tent, you need a nice pad and when it's cold, because air will creep up, cold will creep up from the ground, so that gets you on that quite a bit. So there's what I'm sleeping in. I also have, for my main sleeping bag, I've got this. It's Cabela's. It is it's Evader mummy bag. It's only a 45-degree bag, so clearly that's not going to cut it when it's 20 degrees out. I know that. So to combat that, I'm going to use extra clothes as much as possible. I also have this double black diamond packable quilt. It's one of those Costco deals. So I've got that. And then just use a lot of clothes, basically. I also have, this is sort of inflated right now. This is a pillow. Even in a hammock, it's nice to have these. It gets a lot smaller than this right now. It has the air in it. I forgot to close it before. So there's that. And then I'll go over the clothes now. So clothes, I've got my hoodie. This is the one I use everywhere I go. It's pretty warm. I'm not sure if I'm going to sleep in this one or what. I'm still kind of going through my clothes, but I know I need to dress warm, so that hoodie comes with me every time I go places. And this actually is an Old Navy. It's a wicking. It's great in the summer, but it's going to be good for wicking the moisture away from me, because even when it's cold, when you're hiking or doing some camp chores, it's going to get, you're going to sweat a little bit. So then I also have these are two like long, like running, they're made for running, but like they're like basically long johns, long underwear basically. And this one is, I can't remember what brand this one is. I actually got it on clearance somewhere, but it's a really good. This will keep me warm in conjunction with this. So these are gonna I'll have these with me 2 nights. I don't know if I'm gonna hike with them. We'll see what the weather's gonna be like. I probably won't need to hike with them, just because I think this is just gonna be for sleeping. I think when you're warmed up from walking, that keeps you warm. Also, for sleeping, I got these big giant socks. These are wool. I believe they're 100% wool. They're actually my dad's. I got from a long time ago, so bring him along on this trip, I guess. So this is just going to be strictly for sleeping. I probably couldn't even fit this in my boots because they're pretty heavy. And for my everyday wearing socks, these are a blend. It's got merino wool and polyester, I think. There's some other blends in there, but if you just have a strictly wool sock, this is to my knowledge, they don't stretch as well as like a blend. So you get a blend, and that'll make it so the socks will fit on you and flex a lot. My shirt, I got this thing here. This is also great for summer, even though it's long sleeve. Keep the bugs off you. It's a Mountain Warehouse. We got a Mountain Warehouse here in Grand Rapids. It's an English company. It's like from, I don't know where they're based out of, but they have it out the outlet here, so we got a lot of good deals on these kind of things. So it's Mountain Warehouse, but I mean, in the back you got so this will breathe a lot. The whole thing's gonna breathe quite a bit. It's got a lot of pockets and things, so that'll work. I'm gonna wear underneath that one probably that wicking shirt, and maybe even another shirt. Okay, here's some pants. I got the pants. They're the zip off like convertible, I guess. Not sure exactly what you call them, but these are a Cabela's brand. So I got these. They're great in the summer because obviously you can zip them off. But for my purposes here, this should work, especially if I have long johns underneath them or whatever. Maybe even another pair of pants, I'm not sure yet. Like I said, the clothing is sort of up in the air yet. Still kind of working on that. So for gloves, I don't have gloves, I actually have mittens. These are the warmest mittens I've ever had. Got them on Amazon. They're called Refrigiwear, and they are they're super warm. They are mittens, so I'm not going to be able to do a lot of things with my fingers as much as I would like, but they keep my hands very warm. And with those, I do have also, to keep me warm, hand warmers. I got a pack of these. I think there's what did I say? There's 5 of them in here. 5 2-packs, so there's actually 10 of them. These will be good. These actually work. I've used them on a couple walks in the winter. They do warm up a lot, but most of the time you don't need them when you're walking. But sitting around camp, these will come in handy. Everybody's probably used hand warmers at some point. And I also have this Sirius. This is the brand name. Somewhere in there you can see it. It is I don't know if this one's called a Klavkala or something like that. It goes on your face. I got another one that's just a solid one that I got from Costco, but I ordered this one from Amazon just because it has the holes here, and it's actually got a place for your nose to breathe out of, because what happened with the other one is it kept me nice and warm. Unfortunately, it also kept my face wet, because your moisture obviously weighs something, or not weighs something, but it's gonna have moisture in there, and as I'm breathing, it just got wet. For sitting around camp, I got one of these kind of chairs. These are like it's a camp chair. I don't remember the name of the. This one's called like a Wayne or something, but it's one of those ones that has all the what do you call them, like the tent pole type things in there. They unfolds. This is a cheaper brand, and they make like I can't remember that. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the chair right now, but this is a cheaper brand of that. It's just a chair that unfolds. What I'm gonna do probably is maybe do a review of this when I'm gone. This is new for me this year. I haven't really used it except for sitting around the house just for fun, testing it out. But yeah, this is what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna do a little review maybe while we're out there, seeing what the weather's like or seeing what happens. But when I'm done with the actual the trip, maybe like before we leave or whatever on that Sunday morning, I'll do a review of this one, because there was a guy on YouTube, unfortunately I can't remember his name either, but his broke. He used it for like a half hour, he said, and it broke. The company sent him a new one, but we'll see what that ends up being as far as I'm concerned. I hope it works out, but I don't know. It's very, very comfortable. I went with Mike, my brother, one time last summer, and we didn't have chairs. We were actually not really prepared. At least I was not prepared for a lot of the stuff. So my brother and I went, and we didn't have any chairs, and it was super uncomfortable. You don't really realize how much a chair means to you and how comfortable it is when you're out there, when you think about it before you go. But when you're out there, you got nothing to lean against, you know. I mean, I'm old, my back doesn't feel the greatest after a long hike. So it's good to lean back and just be comfortable. And that'll allow me to do that. And I think for my clothes, I got this, it's called it's a Gecko Brands dry bag. I don't think it's going to be, it's supposed to be dry, so we'll see. It's not, I don't think it's one of those ones that are super waterproof, even though it clearly says waterproof right there on the package. But I'm going to probably use this to hang my food up. We are going to use a bear bag. It's Lower Michigan. The odds of there being bear around there are not real great, but there are some bear around there. There's been sightings the last bunch of years in that area. It didn't used to be like that not so long ago, but apparently the bear are around. So on to some other things. As far as water goes, I do have a little one of these, I guess what do you call it, a bladder maybe. This goes in your backpack. This part sticks out. You just suck on the end and get your water out, and it's like a 2 liter, I believe. Yeah, 2 liter. So it holds a lot of water, and depending on where you go, a lot of water is a good thing. You don't want to run out. So, but I am going to carry. I'm debating on this one because I am going to have like 2. I guess what are they? 1 liter smart water bottles. So I'm going to have those, and I don't think I really need this on this particular trip, just because I think water is going to be plentiful. And on the topic of water, I also got Sawyer Mini. You guys probably seen these. It doesn't take much to clean your water using one of these. I didn't have one before, but I thought I'd grab one. My brother Mike, he has one, and we used it on the couple of trips we made last summer, and it worked great. You could drink right out of it like a straw or whatever. But like I said, everybody's seen these, but it does work great. And I'm gonna bring probably some of the little squirt, like the little Crystal Light or whatever, to squirt to make it taste good. Because this doesn't change the taste of the water. The taste of the water is whatever it is. It cleans it out. So if you're getting it from a river, it's going to taste like whatever that river tastes like. It's not made for like getting out of a mud puddle. You could in an emergency, but it'll block up pretty quick if you do things like that. So you try to get it out of a nice running stream or whatever, not anything that's running. Or else if you don't have a running stream, you can use something to pour the water through, like your bandana or whatnot. But I'll add more on that maybe later. Maybe we'll do a video on that one. I have my rain gear. This is a ridiculous set of rain gear. I might try to replace it before I leave, but it's super heavy. This has got to be like 4 pounds right here. And for rain gear, that's just for backpacking rain gear. That's ridiculous. It's like the Meyer brand. I got it years ago for car camping, and it works great, but it's heavy, and so it's not breathable either at all. Most rain gear is not, but this is definitely not. So I'm gonna be thinking about what I'm gonna do as far as this goes. We'll see. All right, so I also got a micro towel, just a little towel that you use around camp. You can see it there, but it really sucks up the water and quick dry. You go like this and it right out of there. Super quick drying. That'll come in handy. I didn't have one last time. My brother Mike had one, so that worked out great. Couple other things here. We got my camera stuff. I'm recording on my camera, so there's my camera bag. I may bring the whole bag. I may not. It all depends. We'll see. This is a selfie stick. My sister-in-law Lisa gave me this. It's from the dollar store, and this can unscrew at the end, and also fits on my Gorilla Pod, which is what I'm also recording on the back of my chair. The Gorilla Pod is just it's like a tripod with 3 legs, but they can grab a hold of things, whatever. They're all made out of rubber, and it's really cool. I like it. So that's my camera stuff. This doesn't hold the charge very long. It's a fairly old camera, and I'm not sure what's going to happen with it, but I also bring in my phone. So on that, this is my phone. I got the iPhone 6 Plus. It's a big phone. It's heavy, but it'll do the job for sure. And then I got this is my power. This is one of those things, USB. Plug it right in. I got a big one, and it's heavy. Fairly heavy, especially, I mean, the case it comes in is just as heavy as the battery, pretty much. But there's I got my iPhone cord in there, and it's a 10,000, what do you call it, mAh. It's got 2 ports there or 2 USB places to plug in. Doesn't have a flashlight like some of them do, but yep, that is Easy ACC. It was quite cheap. I got it off of Amazon for I think it was I want to say $18. So there's that. Use that for charging my phone up. It doesn't charge my camera up because my camera unfortunately has to be plugged into a wall. Alright, and I got paracord. Got 100 feet of that, orange, just so you don't trip over anything. I do have a couple of these basically disposable ponchos, emergency poncho or whatever. I used these last time, so depending on what the weather is, I may just use one of these again. It worked out fine. Emergency blanket, always gotta have one of those with you. Got my first aid kit, got my moleskin in there, a bunch of other band-aids and whatnot. Sorry, this is not going as quick as I thought it was gonna be. But here's my cook kit. I'm actually not sure if I'm gonna use this either, just because I might just not cook. I got the Esbit stove. I want to do a review on that at some point too. That's like a $10 little stove, and it works using little tiny things that you burn, and they're the ones that. I'll show you. I got some here. Let's see. There's just these little things. You just start them on fire, and they burn for like 13 minutes, and voila, food's done. I've just got this little pan here. This is not ideal. This is not the kind of pan I want. It's a little too big for me. But that goes out and click. It's got how far you gotta fill it up. It's great for mountain warehouse and that kind of thing. So it's great just for boiling water. We'll see how that goes. I also have the fork, spoon, and knife little kit that sort of hooks together for backpacking. This is like the old school kind. I got that. I got all that in my one of these stuff sacks. I do have a couple more stuff sacks, so a lot of these things you're seeing are going to be also in other stuff sacks. Got some of these for strapping things to my backpack and whatever. If you need these, I use these to hook my pad on the back of my backpack. Got one of these little cool UCO candle lanterns. This is a little tiny one that just takes the little tea lights. So this is going to be great for just keeping a little bit of light around camp. For my other light, I got this is a cheapy headlamp. That was like from Target or something, but used this before and it worked out great. And again, I got a couple extra batteries for that. My wife got me this fire starter, easy start. It doesn't weigh much. I'll throw it in if it fits and you see how she works. Those Esbit little things actually work good for starting fires. Bunch of bags, trash bags. This is a black bags. You pack out your trash. You could use it for all kinds of things around camp too. Alright, and I also got my knife. Cheap knife. This is it glows in the dark a little bit, so I guess if you drop it you can find it. Plus it's a bright green, easy to find. I also got this Sportsman Industries little handsaw. The way that works is it's just a saw basically, but it's like a big pocket knife with this thing. This will get through some trees. No problem. Well, we're not going to chop down trees obviously, but get through some pretty big logs, and with the way the weather's going to be, I don't know what we're going to have as far as options for fires, but we'll see. Like I said, I do have a couple more stuff sacks to put things in, along with the one that my food is in. Got a lot of stuff sacks, those come in handy for sure. My reading glasses, kind of dorky looking, but these are plastic, basically indestructible. I'm not going to wear my glasses with me because they're too expensive and I just have a feeling they'll get broken. And that is all she wrote. That's everything. Like I said, it's just a quick video. I just wanted to show a little bit of what I got, not get too crazy, but obviously I'm probably missing some things. I kind of threw it together really quick. Still got a few more days, so I got plenty of time. And if you got any suggestions for things that I'm doing here, the main thing I'm worried about is keeping warm, and I don't have any money to go out and buy another quilt or anything before I go, so just kind of gonna have to make it work. I do have a little cheap Meyer tent that I was thinking about using, but I think that'll just get wet, just because it's a cheap tent. Like I said, that's all. Guess I'll see you on the next one. We'll be up there Friday, which is a couple days from now, so hopefully get a lot of good video there. Brother's gonna take some video, I'm gonna take some video. Maybe do a couple reviews, show you my hammock system and all that stuff. So thanks for watching, and I guess that's the end. See you on the next one.